Hi, family. This is Dr. Marta coming to you with another wonderful story, and it has a lot to do with the items you see in my basket. Let's see what they are. I have a glass lid, a ruler. I'm sure a lot of you have one of these. A smooth and flat rock. A blue block, and another interesting shaped block. Now, what do you think each of these items has in common? Something that is the same about them. Oh, I hear those brains thinking. You are absolutely right. Each one of these items has a shape, its own interesting shape. Let's see if we can figure out what some of those shapes are. Let's start with our ruler. What shape does this remind you of? With two long sides and two short? You got it. It's a rectangle. And actually, I have another shape that is just the same, though it's a different item, has two long sides and two short. So another rectangle. What about our glass lid? I can move my finger round and round. So what shape comes to mind? Absolutely, it's a circle. And what about our rock? If I do the same thing with my finger around the edges, I go round and round again. So we have another circle. Now, this shape reminds me of something in real life. Think with me. Can you imagine people walking underneath? What would we call this? An underpass. And on top, can't you see the cars whizzing by back and forth? Vroom, vroom. It's a bridge, and people are going in many different directions to many different places. Well, there are lots of shapes all around us, and the story that we share today is going to give us a clue of how many shapes we can find in the city. And of course, the name of our book is City Shapes by Diana Murray and pictures by Brian Collier. So let's see what shapes we can find inside. A pigeon takes flight through the bright cityscapes, exploring the scenery, shape after shape. The city is bursting with shapes of each kind. And if you look closely, who knows what you'll find? A truck rumbling by to deliver the mail. A silvery cart with hot pretzels for sale. And stacks of brown packages hauled up the stairs. Some shapes in the city are on-the-go squares. You can find two of them in the windows of our what? You got it. The truck. A skyscraper covered in shimmering glass. A long metal bench near a green patch of grass. And a table with glittery scarves and gold bangles. So pretty. Some shapes in the city are dazzling rectangles. Remember those? In the skyscrapers and scattered all about. The seaport with all of its flowing white sails, and there in the market the pointy fishtails, and colorful flags on a banner that dangles, blowing in that wind. Some shapes in the city are gleaming triangles that have how many sides? You got it, just 3. The sunglasses worn by a cop on his beat, the wheels of the taxis that zip down the street, and a manhole that leads to the pipes underground. Do you see the circles that are floating in the air? What do you think those are? Some shapes in the city are circles so round. There go the bubbles. At sunset, the city is softly aglow as chit-chatting crowds hustle bustle below, when all in the distance a melody hums. It's hard not to follow the sound of the drums. The stage in the park where the instruments sing, some shapes in the city are ovals that swing. And nearby, the kites seem to dance in the sky. Some shapes in the city are diamonds that fly. Have you ever flown your own diamond-shaped kite? The sun fades away into hazy blue dark, and soon there's a twinkle, a glimmer, a spark, scattered up high above buildings and cars. Some shapes in the city are far away stars. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. The pigeon flies back through the night cityscape as city lights sparkle, shape after shape. But her heart starts to ache for the shape she loves best, the shape that is home. Her warm circle nest, where the whirring and beeping of cars rushing by helps her fall asleep like a sweet lullaby. And that ends our story with a beautiful smile and a question. What shapes will you discover in the city? Now, that means you and your family need to take your own trip, walk about, drive about, and see all the different and marvelous shapes you can find in your neighborhood, in your town, in your city, your own city shapes. And that's all from Dr. Marta today. And I'm wishing you a fantastic day. And we look forward to seeing you next time.